Hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of the AI Show. Wow, I am zoomed out today. I don't know. Do we like it zoomed out? What are we thinking? Do we like it like this or like this? I feel like my forehead's cut off too. And I went and got a haircut, and I'm not going to lie. They didn't do the best job. I'll show you. But no one laugh at me out loud because I will hear you. Here we go. Look how high they cut my side ear thing. This is high, right? It feels like I should be a monk in a monastery. Is this too high? Anyways, let's zoom out. That's too much. That's too little. That's too much. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the AI Show. We've got Minsoo, who is going to educate us. I'm pretty excited. Where is everybody coming from? Ivana, welcome. Desde Argentina. Welcome, my friend. Very hot today for you. We are going to make it even hotter with some responsibility in AI. Welcome, my friend. How you doing? It's good to see you. Saduki. Oh my gosh. This is a gem of a person. I'm tearing up. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Welcome, Saduki. It's good to see you. Android is back. Welcome, Android. Who else we got here? Jose Silva, bienvenido. We gotta do like a whole AI show in Spanish one day. Just like, and then like have it speech to texted, text translation to English text translation to custom neural voice with Seth. I don't know. It's an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. Welcome. Oh, look at that. Is that you, Mom? Thanks for coming. All right, it's time to share my screen here. Make sure to share the right one because there's secrets. There's secret things, right, that sometimes we cannot show. All right, today's episode. I've got here my pandemic purchase. Wacom. Every time I say Wacom, I feel like it needs to be Wacom. No, not that. Wacom. Or both. Wacom. Wacom tablet. All right, so let me move this. I had a pretty scary moment here earlier today. You know how I have a big drink always next to me. It's usually just water or some concoction that I make. I spilt it almost on my computer. Yeah. I nearly died of fright. Today, number 1, RAI Dashboard Board plus Scorecard with the great Minsoo. Hold on. Minsoo! I love that little thing, you know? It's almost like, or I should like say it in my scary deep voice. Hold on, scary deep voice. Here we go. That was scary. Yes. I worry about this scorecard. She might pull a switcheroo and just be all like, this is actually an intervention, Seth, and this is a scorecard on your what you contributed as a colleague to the team, Seth. This is a live intervention. And then number 2, we have some options because I'm gonna be honest here, you know. A moment of honesty amongst friends. I haven't looked at our project since we last did it. So we're going to get back into Roshambo, and we have some options. Obviously, A is the option to continue with the React stuff. I always wonder why they called it React. Was it just like they wanted to see what people would do when they used it? React! Ah! And then we have the let me move this up a little bit here. And then we have the second thing, which is I remember our data set. Our data set was V1, but we need to move that to V2 because the training did not like it. So when we get to that point, we will pick because like I said, I have not opened it at all. Very embarrassing. Not really. I mean, honestly, like, this show is not designed for us to like fake write code like I do on the big shows. You know, the big shows where we write code for like a month and then we make it look like it happens in 5 minutes. Everybody knows that's not what it is. Machine learning takes a long time. And if it didn't, then someone's lying to you. All right. Alrighty. I think it's time to bring on the amazing Minsoo. Minsoo, are you ready?
Hello, everyone.
She's ready. She got a new mic. It feels like we're on a TV show. Hold on. Let's make this like an NPR episode. Hold on. Let me turn this down. Hello, welcome to another episode of The African-Tailed Swallow and the throat singing of the Yiddish yurt mongers of the Southern Steppes. This and more with Minsoo, only on NPR.
Very nice.
I know.
We're so excited for you.
I know. No, but seriously, your mic is awesome. When did you get that?
Oh, just in preparation for this awesome show that I was about to be on.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I am both honored and thrilled. So let's give you a round of applause here for the wonderful microphone. Okay, so we actually spent some time yesterday recording this, and we wanted to preview it for you all. But Minsoo, are you okay staying and answering questions?
Yes, of course. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and would love to answer some of your burning questions.
That's right. And the thing about responsible AI, and just to not wax poetic, but if you're not trying to be responsible with AI from inception to delivery, you're going to run into problems. I mean, is that a fair assessment?
Yes, responsible AI is at all parts of your machine learning lifecycle, from
Fantastic.
When you start to when you deploy, and even afterwards.
And as Janice Q number 7 will say, we are going to be honest about all of this. All right, so let me dim the music here, and let me show you the gloriousness that is what we recorded yesterday. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show, where we talk about the Responsible AI Dashboard and Scorecard, a deep dive with my friend Minsoo. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this wonderful episode of the AI Show, where we're going to do a deep dive into the Responsible AI Dashboard and Scorecard with my friend Minsoo. Minsoo, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do, my friend.
Hi, everyone. My name is Minsoo Thigpen, and I am a product manager at Microsoft working on responsible AI tooling on Azure Machine Learning.
Fantastic. So let's dive in. Responsible AI, put it all together, set the stage. Can you do that?
Yeah, of course. First of all, responsible AI is a big topic, right? And part of what we do here is give people tooling, people like you, everyday data scientists, ML pros, the tools to put and implement responsible AI in practice. So we started out with launching an open source project called Responsible AI Toolbox last December in 2021. And now I'm here today to talk to you about how you can actually implement and scale this on cloud in Azure Machine Learning's platform.
Fantastic. Let's dig in.
Yeah, so there's nothing better than a good old example, right? So let's go over to our Azure Machine Learning workspace where we're going to take a look at our data. The scenario that we're looking at today is actually a made-up scenario. So it's synthetic data that we created just for this episode and for this demo. And we're going to be training a linear logistic regression model on a list of programmers. And these programmers we're predicting and giving a score between 0 and 10 on whether or not they're going to be allowed access to a GTP2 model. So we have things like what kind of style you're a programmer of. Do you use spaces? Do you use tabs? How many years of experience do you have? What IDE you use, programming language, where you live? All of those really interesting things that programmers we are looking at when we're distributing opportunity across people who are applying for access to this model.
So just to be clear, this is all made up data. It's not real. We just kind of baked it up a little bit. Okay, cool.
Exactly. So we're going to have our training pipeline job in Azure Machine Learning. We've kicked that off. We've completed it. And we actually also have kicked off and completed a job to create the Responsible AI dashboard with all of our different Responsible AI components, which I'll go into in a minute. And then also a Responsible AI scorecard. And today in this episode, we're going to be actually talking about how you're going to be able to find those responsible AI dashboards in your studio space, as well as a quick overview of what all value you can get out of these specific insights.
That's cool. Can we go back one? Because I have one question. Because this is something that, because I know we've talked about this before. So there's actually two jobs that's going on. The first job is training the logistic regression model to score programmers and give them access. That's the first model. And then once this job is done, you take this model and then you run the dashboard job on it as well. Is this right?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
So the cool thing about the Responsible AI dashboard and scorecard are their flexible components. So you can construct the pipeline job, run it. You can also do that from the CLI through YAML specifications, and you can also do it from the SDK with a Python. And then you can also do it on the UI itself within Azure Machine Learning Studio, which guides you through a nice UI wizard that's going to help you create the dashboard. So you don't touch code at all.
I see. So after I run my model, if I register the model, this UI that I'm looking, I guess this UI that I'm looking at, you can just go to the model and be like, okay, generate a dashboard for me as well. Okay, that's cool.
Exactly. Yes. So as you can see in this screen, we're looking at a list of dashboards that were generated. You would go into the model registry, which you can see here. We're in the model registry as well as the breadcrumb up here. And you click into the model that you've registered, which we've done here. We fetch our registered model after we train it. And then you'd be able to click into the Responsible AI tab up above and see all the Responsible AI dashboards that you've generated. And even cooler than that is maybe you're working and collaborating across technical and non-technical teams. In that case, you can actually generate a Responsible AI scorecard, which is going to allow you to download a PDF of all of your key insights and share those outside of your workspace.
That's pretty fantastic, because I can say something like on a Friday, I got to write this responsible report all day on Friday. It's going to take me all day, and then literally just run the thing and then the PDF comes out.
Exactly. And this is a tool that can really help you in something like, let's say, a compliance review, or you're getting audited for your models, and you can show that you've done your due diligence to assess and help understand your model and build trust and confidence.
That's cool. Now, can we look at one of the dashboards? Because I've looked at it before, And every time, and
Exactly.
I've done these demos before. There's so many things in there. I was hoping you could maybe help me understand what each one of those things are telling us and how we can look at it.
Absolutely. So let's say you've trained your model and you're in the process of evaluating your model before you deploy it into production, right? It's going to be out in the wild. So you want to have a couple of different assessments to understand how your model and your data work together to give you your predictions.
Of course.
So in this view here, you can actually click on the dashboard that you've generated. And I'm just going to switch over to the tab here. And it opens up to a full page, and you're going to see all the tools and components that you've created for your Responsible AI dashboard. So there's a lot of stuff here, and I'll very quickly go over them. First, you have error analysis, which is showing you how error is distributed across different cohorts in your data set. So in model training, we oftentimes have aggregate metrics that doesn't tell you the whole picture. And so we have an intuitive, tree-like map that shows you where exactly your errors live, right? And then we also have a heat map for showing you across multiple features where your errors live. And so you can evaluate errors in your model this way. Secondly, we have the model overview, which actually is going to show you some fairness metrics here as well. Fairness metrics are essentially nothing more than showing you some disparity or some other definition of fairness as how your model is treating different cohorts in your data set. So here you can see an overview of the different cohorts in your data, as well as fairness, difference, and ratio of the metrics that you're looking at. In this case, you have the mean absolute error, squared error, and prediction. And you also have a handy visualization tool at the bottom to help you visualize this table form as well. Thirdly, we have data analysis, because when you're looking at the performance and output of your data, your model, the data story is really important in understanding, over or under representation that might affect how you've trained your model. And so we have aggregate plots, we have individual plots, scatter plots, and you can actually really key this into different cohorts of your data that you're interested in. Maybe I'm only interested in seeing the distribution of error across people who live in Antarctica. Then we have your classic feature importances, which shows you overall and at an individual level what actually is impacting the prediction that your model makes. So in this case, we see that style is the highest impacting feature for your model performance or your model, predictions. And you can see a breakdown of those as well. Then we have counterfactual what ifs, which actually, this is like a really cool tool that generates these diverse set of data points that are going to show you what are the minimal changes required to flip the classification or get your desired outcome within a certain range. And then we also have this awesome feature here where you can actually manually perturb the specific features you care about and see a real-time update in your prediction. Then last but not least, we have causal analysis, which is going to show you what is the causal effect of certain features that you're interested in, like number of GitHub repos someone has or years of experience they have on their desired outcome, which in this case is a programmer score, right? The programmer score is what enables them to get GTP2 model. And you can see it for overall, all of your data points, for individual people, what exactly needs to be changed, as well as a recommended treatment policy for each feature. So if the treatment feature, we want to understand how to have a policy around increasing or decreasing this number to have a real world effect on the score, then we have this really awesome set of tools here and visualizations that's going to show you how to actually impact the real world outcome of the score through a recommended policy and how it impacts the gain in your score, as well as if you don't have the resources, top 10 people to target here. So that's really brief, but essentially, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here to help you really understand your model and your data and develop it more responsibly.
So this is really cool. And like every time I see this stuff, I'm like, I feel like I understand the error analysis, I understand the data stuff, I understand the what if and the counterfactuals, and but my sense is I've never gone into each one of them. So I'm going to propose something to you. Tell me what you think. What if we
Okay.
do like we do more of these shows, but we only pick one thing that we're like the error analysis, for example, next time we do, because I feel like there's so much to explore in each one of these that every time I do this demo for someone, I'm just like, I'm not getting all of it all the way. Minsoo, what do you think?
I think that's a great idea. There's so much here, so much richness, and I would love to share it with you in individual demos of each individual component, because that way we have time to dig in deeper and show you how it can actually provide value in your ML lifecycle.
I'm a huge fan of that. So for those that are getting started with RAI, uh, where can people go to find out a little bit more?
That's a great question. We have a lot of content online. We have um, the Microsoft Docs, which shows you how to generate these responsible AI dashboard, what is even responsible AI, and how to read these graphs and interpret them. And then we also have a blog that's going to be able to show you like step by step, walking through each of the component.
Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Like I said, I'm excited to learn a lot more from you about each one of these things. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, my friend.
Thank you for having me, and I'll see you next time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. We're learning all about the Responsible AI Dashboard and Scorecard with more to come. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. Well, that was delightful.
Yeah. You know, even though I really don't like watching myself present stuff, I thought we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I someone did say the screen was a little blurry. That might be an artifact of the way I was sharing the video, but we'll share this video and it'll be pristine and beautiful. I hate watching myself too, Minsoo. Is that weird?
No, I think it's a universal thing. I think everyone hates watching themselves talking, or maybe actors and actresses don't have that, but definitely everyone that I've talked to who's a normal person has this feeling of like just so painful
I
watching.
know, but like everyone knows the one dude that like enjoys it, and you're just like, oh, here comes Sven. He loves looking at himself. All right, let's go to the questions. If you all have some questions, make sure you put them in the chat because Minsoo is indeed an expert. Wonderful expert. So here's a really good question that I think is kind of funny, but if we dive into it, I think there's a kernel of something we need to learn. Can you tell us who's responsible for the AI beginner's mistakes?
So I am going to interpret this question as someone who is beginning to build AI or machine learning models for the first time. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think definitely if you're beginning, then you're starting out very locally on your computer, right? Like you're just learning about the different things that are out there, the different kind of models. With stuff like OpenAI and like DALL-E and having access to a bunch of these different cool models, there is like a lot of merit to this kind of question, right? Now we're progressing into the next stage where actually there's more than just the person who's building the model. There's people using the model. There's people maybe overall like learning how to govern other people using the model or building the model. And so I think we have some guidelines around how to develop AI responsibly, as well as responsible use of AI. And you can find that in our docs, which are linked below. And I think it's just like who you're working with and making sure that you yourself are also responsible for making sure that you're educated and you kind of understand that, as a person, as a human who is using these technologies, you are also a conduit for biases or other, things that might not be great, and that shows up in your technology. So yeah, I guess at least someone who's a beginner, maybe there's a little bit of grace, but you should definitely strive to educate yourself and think about the socio-technical consequences of the AI that you're building.
So here's another question, because I think this strikes at the heart of the matter. When how much how much do we have to know about like how these things work in order to be responsible? Like, for example, like if I download a Hugging Face model that I don't know, that sharpens my pictures, and I just use it and I put it in production, and then it does something horrible for people with different skin color, um, is that's on me, right?
Yeah, that's a really sticky question. It's really hard. I
Yeah.
feel like it's very contextual. There's no one answer fits everyone or every situation. Definitely the organization that you're working in, whatever institution you might be in, like whether it be a school, university, a research lab, a company, a startup, you know? And so yeah, it's really hard because these are very complex situations where there's so many variables that are different.
And
But for instance, yeah,
yeah, go ahead,
go ahead.
please. For instance,
Yeah, for instance, I feel like that's where some of our tooling can kind of help, and a bunch of other open source tooling out there, right? You have these black box models, you have these deep learning models where you're never really going to know exactly what the machine is doing because it's just too much, too complex. And that's what kind of gives you that accuracy gain, that like amazing performance is how much compute and data it's processing all at once. But if we had tools like, let's say, interpretability for these, more complex things, then you get a little bit of a, better peek into the situation. So yeah, and I think that's sort of why, our team, Microsoft is working on these tools to better help people who couldn't humanly possibly understand what these, systems are doing, right? But we can have tools and we can have processes. And when it comes to like who is responsible, who is accountable, that's an organizational issue too.
yeah, and like to be fair, like from a mathematical perspective, I know how transformer models work. I know the math. I know what's going on. But in aggregate, with I don't know billions and billions of parameters, it becomes quite unclear what's actually happening. I mean, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's a good question from the Cipher Core, and this is a long one, so I'm going to move my screen over so I can read it a little bit better. If AI is meant to be responsible, does that mean that bias must be eliminated completely from the source, which is a human, which is where data comes from? I mean, you and I really agree. And if so, will the model be accurate enough to deliver the intended output? And in fact, I think there's even a tool inside of the RAI dashboard that shows you the trade-off between bias and accuracy. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. So that's FairLearn, which is the open source package that we have for assessing fairness and mitigating unfairness in your AI systems. And we don't like to use the word bias, right? We like to be more precise and concise about what we're talking about. In this case, there are certain metrics that we could use, and there's like 20 plus of them. There's a lot of different ways
I
to
see.
measure fairness, right? There's no one way, a single way that trumps all to be able to measure the fairness of your AI model. And your AI model is very different. It may have different frameworks or different parameters or different data, etc. And so essentially, it's always going to be a trade off that the tool cannot make that decision for you. Fairness is inherently a socio-technical problem, which really requires human kind of intervention and oversight in determining here's how much accuracy or performance, however you want to measure performance. Here's how much performance I'm willing to lose in order to, decrease demographic disparity, right? How the selection rate between two different cohorts or groups or demographics are related to each other. And so at the end of the day, like, we can only show you that those are the trade-offs, but it's up to you to be able to actually choose to sacrifice a little bit of performance for an improvement in whatever fairness metric you decide you want to use.
Yeah, and it might be that the data has borne out that maybe there are some inherent unfairnesses. And so the accuracy that you're giving up is an institutional desire to balance the fairness a little bit more. So you are losing accuracy on your test set, which inherently has those unfairnesses built in. So you're not losing accuracy. You're basically being more principled in how you decide. Would you say that's a good way to look at it too?
Yes, I definitely think that I've seen a lot of people get super hung up on just we need to increase the accuracy by like zero point zero 0.01 or zero point 0.2 or whatever. Like, that is actually not even the full picture, right? Like, that's an aggregated metric over everything. Like, that's why our responsible AI tooling actually is really nice when you're developing or prototyping or trying to select a model, is because you get a bigger, more holistic picture of how your model is making those predictions, right? For instance, if you have 90% accuracy over your whole model, but that's actually masking the fact that for a certain subset of people in your model, you're getting really poor accuracy. They're just like only 10 instances of those people out of like 1,000 or 2,000, then it's still like not great because you're causing harm to this group of people that's underrepresented. And like, really only thinking about these aggregate metrics like accuracy or precision recall doesn't give you that full picture to be able to assess it fully.
Yeah, and that's why like I said, I love the what if scenarios in the dashboard that lets you do like, well, what if I change this to this? What happens? And to be fair, I don't. I wish I knew them a little bit better, which is why we're gonna do a thing and hopefully have more segments of this stuff in there, because I think it's now to a point where everybody knows kind of what models do. Nobody knows how to, well, not nobody, but people are having a hard time moving them responsibly into production. I mean, would that be fair to say under what you've seen?
Yes, I think so. I think the kind of 0 to 1 to, like, getting your hands dirty, starting to train, develop these models, get your data set, learn how to clean it, prep it, um, sanitize it, whatever. I feel like all of those are kind of, like, in getting into a maturity mode, but definitely, like, how are you going to really know you can trust this model to continue to give you reliable predictions? Or how are you going to be able to build confidence with people who don't know what models do, who don't know math, who don't know computer science, right? They're business people, they are like high up with their like fancy ties and stuff, and they all
Yes.
care just about like whatever. So that level of communication also requires some work as well.
Two things, right? The first is I'm going to have to get a fancy tie for one of these shows, and like a top hat. That
Love
would be
it.
awesome. And then the other thing is that's an awesome explanation. I think CipherCore is appreciative of that. So here is another question, kind of a question. This is from Janice number 7, coming to us from Twitch. What's in the scorecard? Because I saw it once, like in the frantic rush to get stuff ready for build. I looked over one. I think I made a video for you to show it off, but I didn't really look at it. Look at it. What's in there?
So, just to recap, the scorecard is this PDF that you can just export from any of the responsible AI dashboards that you create. So, whatever we just looked at just now that we went through, that's the responsible AI dashboard. You can create it on Azure Machine Learning, and you can have all those interactive, cool visualizations and charts and graphs. But let's say you actually want to share those outside of this workspace. You want to export some key insights. So what the scorecard does is actually it summarizes some of the insights from the responsible AI dashboard. Like, for instance, it'll go component by component, saying for error analysis, what was the worst performing cohort, what was the best performing cohort, and it'll be able to just show it to you in plain language, like natural language, in a PDF report. Um, And so it's really just extracting those key insights from the RAI dashboard. And on top of that, it provides a space for you to enter in what is the purpose of this model, how is it trained, and what are the key thresholds that you're looking at. So, for instance, it's like all up to the user and what threshold they use. If they are like, okay, the error rate cannot be above 3.2, then that's one of the thresholds. And if in running your responsible AI dashboard, you get the key insight that it is above that threshold, then we would flag it for you and say, hey, remember that threshold you set? Well, now we see that you're actually over that threshold or you're under that threshold. And you're able to actually just like see a nice summary based on some domain expertise informed thresholds of fairness metrics or whatever that you cared about.
I think that's the coolest thing because sometimes people are like, look, just give me a report on this, on what we should be looking at. And then setting thresholds is a business decision, right? That
Mhm.
then you can look at objectively without, as I have to write reports all the time, which is the job of PM. We got to write stuff down. Hold on. I have
Yeah.
a sound effect for that. If I have to read another
Very
doc,
accurate.
one time I had like 15 docs open and I forgot what each one was. But the reality is that sometimes you need to write these things down and pass them up, and it's
Yeah.
cool to be able to do that. Okay, so from Saduki, thank you for coming. Yeah, there is a ton of stuff in there, and every time I go to demo it, I never like dive into like I understand the error analysis, I understand the what if, and I understand like the data distributions, but I feel like I'm missing stuff, because there's just a lot in there. All right, Minsoo, where can people go to find out more? Do you remember what was the links? There's a what is RAI? What's in that link?
That's just telling you what is responsible AI, right? It's like this hot topic, really sexy. People
Mhm.
are like, yeah, AI ethics. But when you get down to brass tacks, what does it really mean? And we kind of explain the different principles that Microsoft has around responsible AI and how you can use our tools to achieve those different principles in developing your AI responsibly.
Glorious. And then this is the preview to the actual how you do the thing.
Yeah, so this is telling you like how you're going to be able to generate your responsible AI dashboard. It's an experience that's available via the CLI and SDK, as well as the UI experience in Studio.
All right, so this is the last question then for you. Unless people have more questions, feel free to get them in because Minsoo's nice. She she told me I had to say that.
That's right, Seth.
Oh man, that's scary, scary. So I understand how these things work for mostly tabular data. When we get into the realm of things like NLP and computer vision, those are less, or speech, for example, or audio. Those are less. I don't know. It feels like it's less conducive to the tabular approaches that we have. Uh,
I
are there?
think, Seth, you're trying to say the nice version of why don't you support more than tabular data
No, no. I'm not
as
even
a
trying to be
VA,
nice. Like I don't even know how one would do that without like adding
right?
metadata along protected classes to each of the examples in either speech, text, or vision. I mean, I don't know. Is there? So I don't know if this has been figured out all the way. To be fair to you all, like in the
Hmm.
industry, do we have any sort of mechanisms in that regard?
Yeah, so definitely with all of the conversation that's been happening around these large language models, right? Um, People are definitely asking. They're like, how do we do responsible AI on these large language models? And it's different. Like the whole context is different
Yeah.
because the data is not even in your control, right? This like large platform model is trained on just like a huge corpus of text that definitely has a bunch of stuff that you're worried about. And so the whole process or procedure or framework for assessing these kinds of model and fine tuning it so that you're also fine tuning it responsibly rather than developing the model responsibly, that paradigm shift is a bit different, and the tooling has to reflect that paradigm shift.
Oh, I
um,
see.
yeah, so it's just like a very different problem, but definitely a lot of the great things that you see with the Responsible AI dashboard. We're hoping to show you some new stuff in the next
Ooh,
year or so.
ooh, hold on, hold on. There's more stuff. I don't even know about it. She can't tell us, obviously. It's probably
There's
not.
always more stuff.
Okay, okay. Because I think the two things. The first thing is I think that the insight that I'm getting is, Seth, that's great. But remember, we're moving from a train from scratch, approach on tabular data to refine base or foundational models, which is a different
Mhm.
paradigm. And we've done transfer learning before, but the models were, a little bit different. These ones are much larger.
Exactly.
You don't have access to the data, and for sure, there's garbage in there. And so there's a different
For sure.
for sure, there's garbage in there, and so you got to be a little bit extra more careful, right?
I mean, we're talking about the internet here. Like,
I know, I
I've
know.
seen some high class
Yes,
garbage on the internet.
mm,
So,
yes, as have I. This may be one of them.
no, no.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
oh my goodness! No, I put out garbage before. It's. Uh, if you go into the reaches of the internet and search for me, you might find a show that's just not as good. I
Wow,
dare
you're
you to
telling
find
me you haven't purged your internet
I don't even
persona
know how.
yet?
I put out so much stuff that I don't even know where like it goes anymore. Okay, any final words or advice to people as we ramp up and get you more often to talk about like each one of the things?
Yeah, I think one last thing I want to leave with is that these are all tools that, will help you see the bigger picture. It's not going to solve any problem. It's not going to be another checklist that you can just be like, ding, I'm done. I'm responsible now. It's bringing your expertise, bringing in other stakeholders who have stakes in the real life people and circumstances that these AI models are going to impact, right? And so, responsible AI is about process, tooling, and organization. And we're only part of the tooling and helping with the process a bit, but it's like a trifecta. So it's a whole thing that has to go into motion all at once. So yeah, I'm really excited to come back on in the next
Mm,
few episodes and give you a deeper dive of each component.
I love it, and I think that'll be super helpful. I also love the framing of like this isn't like a checkbox of like now you're a good person kind of thing. It's kind of, it feels like this is more of a barometer of the right thing. I had a manager a long time ago. He was like, "Look, when if you've ever had turkey in the United States during Thanksgiving, there's this little plastic thing that's in there, and it pops out when it's done, in theory." And my manager was like, "Never mistake the measurements for the meal. Nobody eats that plastic thing at Thanksgiving, but it at
Yeah.
least is an indication of whether you're on the right path." And so I think that's really good advice. Thank you so much, Minsoo.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye,
All right, we'll
everyone.
see ya. Bye. Well, isn't she fantastic? All right. MSA. Okay. So she's awesome. I as we were doing this episode yesterday, it's just a realization that like we need to look at this a little more carefully uh, because we take this seriously at Microsoft. At least the being responsible, we do so internally, and then we want others to benefit from the tools that we've used to make it. All righty, I guess it's time to get to work. Time to get to work. All right. I don't even. I opened the project while the video was playing, and I don't. This is it. like everyone shows up like to the second half of the AI show and they're like, I thought this was about AI. Why are we using JavaScript? It's the way of the world, my friends. It's the way of the world. Okay. So again, we have two options here. I think what I'll do is I'll just do a little review of what the heck it is that we're doing. A little review, and then we'll get into whether we want to diverge and solve some more of the website problems, or we want to get the AI a little bit more refined. Because remember, the AI was kind of garbagey, and it was because our pictures were not sized right. So it was messing things up. Alrighty. I don't even remember how this thing works. Okay, so looks like we have, okay, I see it. So here is the, here's the code. This is the AI code, and this is the web code. What we're doing is we're building a website that we can play rock, paper, scissors against it, not by, mind you, not by pushing R or P or S, but by literally going 1, 2, 3, boom, and then having it figured out. And then we're gonna make an AI to figure out what we're doing, rock, paper, scissors, and then we're gonna make an AI to learn how to beat you in aggregate. So that's what we're doing. So this is the AI part. We have decided to use PyTorch Lightning because, you know, I think it's great. So this is PyTorch Lightning. And the model that we're using is here it is. I think we're using a ResNet 18 is what worked for us for a little transfer model. You can see here, this is all the computation. This is the loss function. And there's a training step, validation step. We're using stochastic gradient descent. That's what this goodness is, with a back off on the learning rate using an LR scheduler. If anything I've said makes zero sense, I can totally talk about this too. Otherwise, we'll do more JavaScript. And then we're using Onyx, the Onyx runtime, to do some scoring. You can see here, there's the Onyx. Where's the Onyx runtime? There it is, Onyx runtime. And you can see that we're loading up the model, getting some transforms, and then we are doing the inference. And this tells us if we're doing rock, paper, scissors. And you can actually see this model in operation right over here. So let me, ml.azure.com. Yes. Jobs. Here it is, Roshambo. You can see the last couple failed because, let's see here. Outputs and logs here. Not the sidecar, but 65. Yeah, see, we have to change over to a V2 data set, so that's something I need to fix. But the other experiments you can see where there was some really good loss and accuracy. I mean, we're starting to get to 100%. Well, but using VGG19, which is a ginormous model, and we didn't want to do that. So I think we figured a ResNet 18 would be better, and that's the one we did. So we put it to an endpoint over here called roshambo, and as we test it, let's see here. Boop. This is me doing the scissors. Let's test it. You can see it guesses scissors. So this is the whole end-to-end thingy that we did on the back end. And on the front end, we built the website. cd.dot/web. Whoop. I think it's yarn dev because we're using yarn knee pants. And then we'll go localhost 3000. Localhost 3000. And we are going to use the other camera, this one. And so then if I put a rock there, the idea is that it will say rock, and it's actually calling that service that we just built. Do you see? You see what we're doing? Makes sense, right? Okay. You can actually go to roshambo.ai. Roshambo.ai, and it's actually this entire site. Because if you go to github.com, I think I put it on, where did I put it? Was it AI add Bouquet Roshambo? I think that's where it is. There it is. So this is there's a workflow here to do a web deploy. And so every time we change stuff, we deploy this Next.js app, and that's where it is, roshambo.ai. Pretty cool, huh? But now it feels like this is like the spike of it, but it's not like the entire proyecto. So we have a choice, and everyone can vote. Do we want to do more with the app, or do we want to fix the ML ops pipeline inside of Azure ML? So option 1, more Next.js and React to make this a little bit more, to clean this up a little bit, make it more React-y. Or number 2, ML ops stuff with number 2, fix the ML ops stuff. So everyone, all you have to do is you have to, in the chat, just do 1 or 2. 1 or 2. So number 1 is more React stuff. Number 2 is more ML ops stuff. Number 2 is Avi. Scissors! Beep, 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 beep. But it was kind of close. Well, it wasn't that bad. Look at that. 40%. That's not bad. So number 1 or number 2. Janice number 7 is giving us the Roman numeral 2, which is the ML ops. Any other desires here? I'll just keep going. I'll just show you some of the stuff. So we've actually, it's like this weird mono repo that has like Python. It even has its own virtual environment here. Oh, what is that? Oh, cool. So it has its own virtual environment. This runs fine. And then it has the web stuff with all these components that we need to more reactify and make it a little bit nicer. So that's where we're at. And by the way, let me put up the link to the repo here, because I think that's important. GitHub.com. So this is where the actual code lives. Let me put it in a banner here so you can see it. There you go. So you can totally go and take a look at this. It's all the code. I think was there a actions issue? What happened? Uh-oh. That's weird. We'll see. We'll see about that one. Okay. So 1 or 2. 1 is web, 2 is ML ops. So we got 1 vote for 2. Let's see. Any other votes? All right. I'm going to fix the AI then, because that's what everyone is telling me to do. Well, everyone is Janice number 7. Let's go back to the jobs and let's figure out what was going wrong with this. Okay. So this failed. Got a user error here. Oh, wow. This UI is very nice. Holy cow. This is super nice. Huh. This is new UI. Oh, heyo. You can turn preview features on and off now on this. By the way, this is Azure Machine Learning, the ML Ops thing for Microsoft. This is cool. No way why is it disabled? I don't want to disable it. The link for the repo is, I still have it up. The link for the Azure ML Studio is ml.azure.com. So that's what that is. Cool. Oh, shoot. Okay. So let's see. Only eval mode is supported for V1 legacy jobs. User only eval mode is supported for this. That's weird. This tech is so new that it's so new that like I need to go in there and figure out how to create a new data set. So let's go to a data set, create. I wonder if our data store here, where did I store the data? So let me go to the job and let's see what's going on here. Roshambo. There's the experiment. There's the data. I wonder why. I wonder if it says this is really cool, by the way. I hadn't seen this before. Wow, this is really cool. Huh. Okay. So I think what we need to do is I need to delete this old one. I guess you can only unregister it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. Create a new data set from a data store. We're going to call this the RPS. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, it does. Let's see. RPS. Holy cow, there is another one. No, this is the same thing. Huh. Cool. So we can't do that. So we'll create from a data store. We'll call this RPS v2. This is going to be a file data set. Next. Under experiments, we'll browse. RPS v2. So let's go over here and let's take a look at our cloud stuff. So this is the job. We want RPS v2. RPS v2, likely 1. This we can stop. Cool. This is the job schema. Let's see if I have a... a long time ago. Let's go. There it is. There it is. So let's run this. Let's make sure the data set is good here. There it is, RPS v2. Yeah, so it looks like it's pointing to the same thing. Let's try it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work. This is how you create a job, a training job in Azure Machine Learning. You basically call the AZML job create, and then you pass it the YAML file that describes the training that you're going to do. So the training for us is this is how you run the trainer, and then we're going to override the default root dir to outputs, and then the data dir to whatever's passed in, data dir. We're using the URI folder that's passed in, which is an RPS v2. This is version 1 of that. And then we are going to mount it so that the container thinks it's just part of the hard drive. And then lastly, we're going to use this PyTorch Lightning environment. And this environment is built on this Docker container with these dependencies. That's what it looks like. Okay. So it looks like the job is getting prepared. Oh, and this might take a while too because I'm trying to save money. And so there's only ever 0 nodes allocated to this. Oh, someone's saying something. Oh, the music is awful. Oh. I'm okay with that. You want me to turn it down, or do you want me to completely remove it? Yeah, I'd love to know what Stephen K likes because the thing about this one is this is an expensive machine. Maybe I should not have this expensive machine. Here, I'll make it go lower there. Okay, so this is the job. The job might take a little bit of time to run just because it needs to create. Let's see. Yep, it's using the right data. It's using the right data. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So it's all of it's happening the right way. Yep. Here is like I showed you, here's it has more stuff in there. But this is the version 6 of the environment. Oh, is it rebuilding? No. Oh, no. So it's going to take forever. I think what happens is, in order to save costs, I basically shut things down. But now that I'm telling it to do stuff, it's putting stuff up. Oh, and then the other thing is that like I have auto shutdown on all of my here's my compute. So this is Sauerman. This is my notebook machine. It's a big machine, right? And I have it shut down at 5 p.m. my time every day, just in case, I don't want to forget, because it's got like a K80 in there, 4 of them. Oh shoot. Oof. I should $3.60 per hour when running. It's not running. So that's what's going on there. Okay. And then my compute cluster is this one. I don't know how many nodes it has. Oh, it's like there's an active run going on here. That's fast though. Holy cow, those are so fast. What did I do August 1st? Oh yeah, I did an auto ML run. super fast, by the way. These machines are really fast. Maybe I should. I think I had to get like a big machine because we were doing like a demo at Build on refining GPT-2. And you can see that's over. Here it is. GPT-2 fine tuning. Update all. And you can see they're all in here. We made some component. It was awesome. We may do that again at Ignite. Maybe. Okay. So this is going to take a while, primarily because this thing is building again. All right. We will leave you to your wiles. And let's get back to this. Okay. So I think let's see how we set this up, and let's see if we can clean it up while the other thing is running. Here we go. Okay. Now we're back into the web part. Okay. So I don't think we need this anymore. Viva Mexico, indeed. My mom is from Mexico. I went to school in Mexico when I was a child. Okay, so let's see. We don't need the set message anymore. I should probably yarn dev this. Yarn dev. Okay. And then we'll control shift I. Yes, we're constrained, we know. Which is okay. This is not a problem. It's just we're trying to grab Camlink Pro 3 and it just can't do it. Looks like I have a rock face. Embarrassing. Okay. So this is working. Cool. We're trying to clean stuff up here. We don't need this. Okay, looks like we made a video thing. Gosh, man, when did JavaScript get so complicated? Oh, man. I've been programming for 9. Well, I programmed since I was 16, right? And I'm what, 43? So almost 30 years. And this crap is so complicated. I mean, I know what it does. I wrote it, but I mean, if you're brand new and you're looking at this, are you like, what in the sweet baby Thor is this? Use effect? And you're passing in an arrow function that in and of itself has a contained async? What? And then you're running that function inside of this anonymously declared function that has this device dependency. Oh my goodness. Does anyone look at this and just like, man, I need to stick with deep learning because it's easier. Deep learning's seriously, I mean, look at this. this can't be the best way to do this stuff. I mean, I chose React and Next.js because that's like what the hotness was, but it can't be this hard. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Ugh. I'd love to hear your thoughts, by the way, in the chat. Because this is, or tweet at me or something. Because there's got to be a better way to do things than that. Here, I'm gonna open my Twitters that way. Yeah. Like, when we talked about responsible AI, we should talk about responsible web dev. This doesn't feel responsible to me. Oh, jeez. Okay. Maybe that's why VB6 took off when I started professionally programming, because it was, you put an object on there and then you do stuff to the object after there's some events. It was easy. This is not. Okay. So it looks like we have a video thing, and then we have a device selector. Oh, this is cool. With device props. Okay, cool. And then this video, I'm assuming. Oh, I see. So we have this device selector that when it's selected, we set the video ID. And then this video ID is bound to this. And that's why when it starts, because it selects the first one or whatever one is in there, the default. That's why I get an overconstrained error. Because it tries to set it right away. And then when the video is set, we set this. What is this on video set? Go to definition. Oh, I see. This is when, wait. I think this just gives us the media track settings, but that's it. Gosh, man, you know, you go back to code, it's like spelunking. Who knows what's going on here? I do. It's okay. This sets the frame, and then the frame set frame on frame set frame. How does it know when to? Oh, it's because the button is in there. And I wanted to take the button out to poke into this thing. How do we do that? So we have this, I see. Okay, so we have this component here. We have this one component that selects the video. And then we have this video component that has the video in there. Once we set this, we give it the video thing, and then it has this button in here that when we click it, right, it sends back the frame that we got. There's got to be a way to force it so that we outwardly say, give us the current frame. Give us the current frame. How would one do that in React? Give us the current frame. Is there a way on components to do functions? Call functions on components? Call into a React component. Okay. Ref React component. Yeah, Janice, it's going to be wrong for you because I'm guessing you don't look like me. Maybe. React refs allow us to reference a DOM element or a class component from within a parent component. This gives us the ability to modify or change that element, which is what we want to do. Think of refs as a direct connection between components and DOM elements or class components and their parent components. This connection provides us with the means to access elements components without state updates and re-renders. Yes. Okay, so I mentioned when you shouldn't be using refs. I mentioned we shouldn't be using refs all that often. So when our managing focus, text selection, or media playback. Cool, which is what we want to do. Perform imperative animations. Integrate with Interfront. Only 3 things to know. When not to use refs. Anytime that something can be done declaratively. What do I mean by that? Declarative programming is like describing the fixture. Where imperative programming, blah, blah, blah. I use ref. Now that we know what refs are, let's dive into how to utilize them. Okay, tell us. Oh, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to use function components. React refs in function components. By the way, we're doing this in the meantime while we're waiting for this thing to finish. Still not finished. Simple callback ref renderer. That's cool. No, I like that the ref is there, but what if I want to make... Oh, shit. It's like they were reading my mind. Cool, I get that, but why am I going to do that? No, I want to create a ref. Using refs in React functional components, part 2, forward ref plus use imperative handle. Okay. As stated in docs, you're going to hide their potential blah, blah. Although this is a good thing, preventing us from relying on other. Ref forwarding is an opt-in feature that lets some components take a ref they receive and pass it further down. To understand this, this is the thing I'm talking about. Like React, man, is so dang complicated. Like the level of indirection and so obtuse. Input ref, forwarded ref, a simple forward ref. Type incremented ref. Okay. Const box. Forward ref. Box props. Boom. This makes no sense. It's like this dude. There's a gal. Oh, Raphael. It's like he's reading my mind. Why so complex? There we go. Creating mutable instance-like variables. As the doc states, the ref object is a generic container whose current property is mutable and can hold any value, similar to an instance property on a class. How is it similar? In a class component, we can define instance variables in it, and when there is a re-render, the re-render method is executed again. Our function component does not have a render function. The component itself, with everything defined in it being the render function, which returns JSX. Okay, so here is a simple value. Let's show you state, ref count, use ref 0, increment, ref count, current plus plus plus. Yeah, cool. This works because use ref creates a plain JavaScript object. The only difference is use ref and create. This way, we can see that with use ref, you could have a property similar to an instance variable. What the freak are they talking about? See, because I don't want to set the frame. The thing I do not want to do is I do not want to set this frame in the video. I don't want to set it every time it goes, right? I don't want to set it every time. I just want to like poke into this video component and pull the frame out, right? Because if I could do that, then I can put this video component anywhere and it can live on its own here. So let me go to use. Let me look at use ref here. Use ref. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Refs allow us to reference a DOM element from within a parent component. Oh, we were just talking about her. Let's just go to the docs. Use ref, React. There we go. Use ref. Oh, essentially useRef is like a box that can hold a mutable value in its current property. You might be familiar with ref's primary way to access DOM. If you pass a ref object to React with myRef, React will set its current property to corresponding DOM. Oh, okay. So this is just a way of having a mutable thing. However, useRef is more useful than ref, never keeping any mutable value around. Similar to how you'd use instant fields in a class. Keep in mind, useRef doesn't notify you when its content changes. Huh. Interesting. Use imperative handle. Customize the instance value that is exposed to parent components when using ref. As always, imperative code using refs should be avoided in most cases. Use imperative handle, ref. Function fancy input props. Input ref, use ref. Input, okay. The freak? In this example, a parent component that renders fancy input ref would be able to call input ref.current.focus. Oh, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want to use an imperative handle. Okay. That's what we want. but looks like we need to use forward ref. Creates a React component that forwards the ref attribute it receives to another component below in the tree. This technique is not very common for you. Forwarding refs to DOM. Okay. Let's try it. We'll try the use imperative handle, ref, create handle depths. Cool. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so this feels like some advanced React here that makes zero sense. So this is the handle submit because it calls a frame set. But instead of handling the submit, there's the ref. Because that's what's okay. Cool. Because this video is this is the ref that we're using. Cool. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want to go here. Oh shoot, where's my thing here? We want to use imperative ref. Cool. Yes. Okay, use imperative handle. The ref is going to be this thing, and then we're going to call get frame. So use imperative handle, right? We're going to use the video ref. I think that's... What is this ref? What the freak, man? You know, sometimes I wonder about this stuff. What? Ugh. In this example, per command, renders fancy ref input ref. We'll be able to call input ref current focus. Okay, I gotta go find another example of this because this is like blowing my mind here. Data flow React is unidirectional. Components comprise of, callback functions use suffice. What about those very rare where callbacks, context, and whatnot are not, where the cleanest, most flexible, or perhaps the only option left is to let the parent directly control the child and imperatively dictate what the latter should do. Okay. Yes. Yes. Cool. Yes. Yes. Loads a set, passes it down. It's very adding imperative logic. If you work in forms or React apps, you may be familiar with how input elements explicitly blur focus, blah, blah, blah. When the user first loads a form inside a page or dialog, it can be beneficial to the user's experience to immediately place keyboard focus on the first. Yes. When the comments feed is mounted and made visible, your name field should be revisiting the comments component again. we see that the new comments form looks like this. Yes, we want the first input, the username, to be immediately focused as soon as the comment component mounts. So like we can change the input's value. Okay. In order to access that function, though, we may need a reference to that specific input element in question. And React we do this by creating a ref. Const named input ref, use ref. Cool. So I did that. Right? So I did that for the video. So you can see I did a ref for the video. I should probably call that a video ref. Right, and then video ref over here. And then we want the video ref to be here. That's just to be explicit, and this is garbage right now. Okay, cool. So we have that ref. We have the ref. Cool. The focus function can now be accessed via named input ref .current with the help of a use effect hook. We call this function. Cool. Yeah, so this is something you can do. Let's say our comment, in all these cases, it immediately rendered with your front name autofocus. However, as its usage increases, you'll ever start to find themselves in a situation where the autofocus first field underscore is insufficient. One data developer stats implementing comments feed in a slightly different manner. Developer, your name, autofocus by mounting the manager is not satisfied. Okay, define a function in the child component. Okay. Let's define a function in the child component. Let's find a function. We'll call it focus on form. All we've all done is move the logic. Okay. Remember how we need to reference to by way of ref in order? Yes. We'll do something similar in order to allow the parent component to access the focus on form function. But can you get a value from it, right? That's the thing. Okay, so define a ref in the parent component and pass it to the child. Comments feed, use ref. Okay, so let's do that. So we will call it a video feed. Const video feed but it's not media stream. Video feed ref. No. This is dumb. This goes in the parent. This goes in the parent. And then what we do here is on the video, we say ref equals. Cool. So that's a problem that hopefully we'll fix later in the article. Okay, cool. Okay. In 2018, in our comments component was a class. This will be perfectly fine. We get it well away, but this is a future. The comments is and unlike blah, simply adding a ref property. The same process on the comments will not work either, by the way. So the following approach is also incorrect. Can't do this. Instead, we have to use the forward ref feature provided by React in order to pass a ref to our function component. Use forward ref to allow a ref to be passed to a child. Oh, okay. Ooh, I see. Oh, shoot, what the heck? We're going to figure this out. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so we did that. Cool. Use forward ref to allow a ref to be passed to the child. There are a few ways of doing this, but here's the approach I usually prefer, as it's pretty clean and easy to follow. We first need to define the component as a named function instead of an anonymous function assigned to a constant. Let's just say we're previously exporting this component as a module. Bloom. We now need to first pass comments component to a forward ref. Next, we'll add the ref on the props. Okay. Okay, this part is, we'll get this. Props, comma, ref. The parent component can now pass a ref to the comments component and use it to call focus on form. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let's change this function. Const get frame. Hold on, why is this set to 4? We want 2. Cool. Okay, get frame. If it's current, return null. Cool. So this is a get frame function that will do that, and this will be get frame, and then this will be get frame. Now this is a problem Okay. So in theory, we don't need this button. Now that we've gotten this video feed ref, what I can do is I can add a button. What I can do is I can add a button above this thing. Let's take this submit button and then let's see if we can do the thing. Okay. So we'll take this submit button from the video here. Boom. We'll up level it to the index here. We'll just put it like right. We'll just div it right here, right above, so we can see that it's clearly not. We'll get the handle submit here, but we'll take out all the guts. Oh, there it is. Handle submit. Cool. And then we'll call set frame, right? Yeah, we should call set. Okay. No, this is. If video feed ref dot current video feed ref dot current set frame, or is it get frame? Frame equals boom, and then this would be set frame to frame. If frame set frame. Oops, Control Z. If frame set frame. Okay. So this is a problem, right? Because we've got to. This is a. We need to. How do we type it though? So I think I did it right. I like this better. Cool. Is it like a... Is it this? Oh, let's see. Use ref. Can we do that? So this is the problem here. How do we get the right type? Now we're just trying to play this game of satisfying TypeScript. Yeah, see? Yeah, so it looks like this isn't the right way. Okay, so I think that what will happen is forward ref. I think there's a problem that I'm having with use imperative handle, forward ref. Oh, maybe. Maybe there's huh. Gosh dang it. Freaking React. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be something here. Oh yeah, how's the ops part coming? Thanks for the reminder here. Let's go take a look. Because we were at the 47. Oh, this is built. Let's go to the jobs here. What? It failed. Let's see why here. See more details. What do you mean? I don't understand why it keeps telling me it's like non-compliant. Data capability data failed to initialize capability session start user exception. Non-compliant reason. Only eval mount or eval download mode is supported for V1 legacy data sets. I thought I made a new data set that was not. Am I gonna have to upload the whole thing? I'm just gonna upload them, see what happens. Let's see. Roxy data. Let's take a look at this. This would be under C projects, roshambo, data, AI, data, and then this is just raw. We don't need this. Open. Oh, is it going to be like that? Oh, no. Oh, browse folder. Nice. Nice. Okay, AI, data, raw. I'll just select all of. Can I select all of our, or to do raw? Not bad, it's doing it. So that's doing this. Holy cow, we only got 10 minutes left. I think I got it. The only thing that's a problem is this get frame method. It doesn't know that this is of type video. Let's see. Use ref type on forward ref. Oh, here it is. You have to do an interface. Okay. Okay, let's create. Oh no. Did it name it like a weird... I hate this. Why did it do that? Yeah, this will definitely not work. Unregister. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm going to have to talk to my people about this. I don't like the way that it does that. Because then it's like... Well, dang. I'm going to have to fix this again. I'm going to have to figure out... I'm going to go talk to somebody and figure this out. Because for the love of Pete, why is it doing that? Okay. So... on the video, there is an interface. Video ref, and this would just be a get frame. Which is indeed a string or null. Well, 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 well. Something is not quite right with how this is going. The video feed ref. All right, well, we are nearly out of time. We did a couple of good things. I think learning about this ref stuff is interesting. Hopefully we'll figure it out by next time. One of the things is I want to make sure that you know that next time, we have our wonderful, and it's time to put our closing walk-off music here. Next time, we're going to have our wonderful friend, Cassie Breviu, to talk all about a deep learning container with PyTorch and AML. Cassie's going to take that. What a bummer. I'm trying to figure out, I'm so close to figuring this out. So close. Oh, ref object. That's what I'm missing. Ooh, a bum. Always something wrong. I pushed the wrong one. This is cool though. I think I'm gonna figure this out because this has been bothering me now for like 6 months, and I think I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I know, so close. Troubles with refs and ML ops. Yeah, but who knew that the harder thing would be the actual JavaScript? You know what I'm saying? It's a JavaScript that's just bothering me. I might push, you know what? We're going to do it. We're just going to do it. React forward ref. This is the thing I'm not doing. But I want these props to be expanded out, right? That's the thing that's giving me some issues here. Convert to C# Blazor. No. Why would I do that? That would cause me a ton of problems, I think. But maybe not. Maybe you're right, and I just don't know what I'm talking about. So we want a forward ref. We need some props. Let's try it. Let me just comment this out here. We'll say props. And then why does it not like this? I'm not finding props. Hold on. One, two. I know. Okay. I know why. So we'll do this. We'll do this. Yeah, I think I'm starting to know what's going on. Y'all have been the best. We will sort this out next time. Who knew? React is hard. We kind of all knew that, though. It's been wonderful being with every one of you. As always, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Seth Juarez, or you can email me directly, seth.juarez@microsoft.com. If you have any questions, hopefully this has been fun for you. It's been fun for me. We'll keep working on the project and more exciting AI developments on the AI show. Hopefully we'll see you next time. And as always, take care, my friends.